Hello and welcome to another edition of Club Corner. I'm Braden Ingram. We've ventured outside of one of the conventional football grounds this evening, and we're out of the Eastern Indoor Sports Centre in Ferntree Gully. I'm here with Andy Hayman. Good evening to you, Andy.
G'day, Braden. How are you, mate?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. And a bit of a change. You're not usually out here. What brought about this heading into the last game of the season?
The condition of our ground, as always. I booked this probably 6 or 7 weeks ago. Well, probably thinking that the ground might turn, and it has. So we're trying to look after it as best we can. So yeah, you get a bit of touch in here, so it's good.
And everyone knows where you sit. Last 4 wins, you're only 2.87% behind Donvale. You couldn't be treading much more of a fine line, could you?
No, we blew it last week, really. I mean, Croydon were far too good, and we needed to be competitive if we were going to lose, which we probably were from the very start. They were very good. But we needed to be, around the 6-8 goal mark, and we just got blown away. So we now put the pressure on ourselves, haven't we? We know what we've got to do.
Did you try and put a man behind the ball to contain the score that Croydon treated?
Times, but they played a full ground press, and they'd done their work on us. They knew that if you put a bit of pressure on our kicking on their ground, and whenever we come off training on our deck and it's really muddy, we struggle that Saturday if we play on a dry deck. It's happened to us twice, and we don't hit targets. So yeah, we're hoping we can train on 2 dry decks this week and come out all right.
But playing at home this week, that must give you the advantage. You'll train on it, you'll be used to conditions if it is wet. Yeah,
we're used to it. We don't have to train on it. We're used to it. We know what it's going to be like, whereas Bayswater will come off there, obviously the best ground in the comp, and come down to us. So, look, we certainly grow an extra leg there, but whether it's good enough to beat Bayswater, a pretty good side, but we'll give it our best.
How is the atmosphere amongst the boys? This is almost a grand final for your boys.
That's what we spoke about last night at our revision and rehab night. We're treating it as a grand final. So how people react to that is obviously different for different people, but we're not going to do anything, we're not going to have any guest speakers or anything like that, or motivational stuff. They'll get themselves up.
There's a school of thought in the EFL that going down a division isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can develop or bring back a winning culture. Do you agree with that school of thought?
Well, not really, because I think third division's a fantastic comp. And I would suggest if we went down there and played, say, the second half of the season in third division, we'd probably still be 6th or 7th. It's a very good comp. So, good sides. The top 4, for instance, very good. Look, we're thinking that for the betterment of these young players, that the second division's the go, and surrounding them with some, obviously, quality recruits if the new coaching, structure can.
So, new coaching structure, will you be here in 2014?
No. I've put in to coach my son in the Upper Gully, but I'm open to offers from other clubs. Probably looking more of a Saturday role and a Thursday role rather than it's pretty full on. I do a fair bit of hours, so it'd be good to drop back a tad.
Did you feel that not only the hours, but the club needs a bit of a change of face as well?
Yeah, we both agree. Durko, Andrew Dirksen and I agreed at the start of this year probably. The players threw up a bit of a hurdle because they were a bit sort of unsure where they wanted me to leave. But look, I think it's best for the club and new blood and new faces, so we're looking forward to it, yeah.
And back to this week's game, the Bayswater game, is there a certain strategy? Do you look to attack all day, or from the outset is it going to be consider putting someone behind the ball and hoping the Waverley Blues do the job for you against Donvale?
Well, we won't put anyone behind the ball. And I know, what I know of Neil, he won't put anyone behind the ball. He'll back his players and we'll back ours. Obviously, we need to win, and I mean, if we're a few goals up late in the game, I might put a few behind the ball, but no, look, that'll be a dream. So, no, we won't make it a shootout or anything. We're not a high-scoring side. Our forward line struggles at times, so we've just got to make it as open as we can. I mean, if they bolt it up, then we'll have to think of different ways. But they've got some real power forwards, and Ruckman's who's given us, Nevins has killed us before. So yeah, and obviously on ball. So they're a good side. So we'll see how we go.
And finally, 2.87%. I mentioned that before. It's such a tight line. That do you have someone out at the ground to let you know the scores and let you know how it's going to go down?
We just spoke about that. We probably look, if we're in the game at half time, I think we've got to send someone there. We need to know.
Because Twitter's not going to do it for you again. At 3/4 time, you sort of need to know as it happens.
Yeah, we need to have someone there. So we'll talk to the president about that and get someone to, even if it's a player that pops over. We've got to have some information coming back. You're right. Because at 3/4 time, if I can feed that to them, I think that'd be a real spur, and if we're in the game. So yeah.
Well, Andy, it's an exciting atmosphere down here. It may be 10th v 9th, but I tell you what, it's going to be a great game, and good luck, and I really hope it goes well for you.
Thanks, matey. Good on you.